So everybody, it's Amon here. Welcome back to another one of my tier list, aka Overwatch 2. So this, you see by the title, is going to be Overwatch tier list, and this one has some gameplay behind it. It's been a minute since I had gameplay to put together over my tier list. I don't know if this might actually be the first, and the reason why is because obviously I rock with showcasing the tier list actually, so y'all can see the ranking system in this is. But I'm just testing this as a form of experiment to see if providing gameplay would be cool. I feel like it would be cool. It would better to get my thoughts, and I could showcase it a lot more. But in this tier list, obviously, I'm going to be talking about the Overwatch 2 characters. Like my whole form of tier list is going to be in my opinion. I have a little bit more critical stand with it, kind of. Now, with my rank and competitive and everything matter things, no, but I've seen different gameplay assets, I've seen different things, I took consideration of other people, and I've looked over considerable kids pro scenes. Now, I never looked full into the Overwatch League, Overwatch 2, or any other semi for things like that, or big pro scene, but I've looked at streamers, I've looked at different people, I've taken consideration the gameplay that I've seen, I've looked at a common sense factor of it, and what these characters stack and all role to other people, and what they can do all around, and that's just me personally evolving the asset that they can bring. Enough talk. I hope you guys will enjoy. Like I said before, love y'all. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. We're gonna get it popping.
You a bad beast, I'm a hitter like a little thing. No thoughts, real right, on some new chain. Nice waist, pretty face with a big thing. Yeah, I fake, you was just like it's your shit, you the one for me. She be coming up a guap when I'm on the scene. And I be getting to the bag, I be getting the cheese. And every time you find out my heart's giving up, yo, you a bad beast. I'm a hitter like a little thing. No thoughts, real right, on some new chain. Nice waist, pretty face with a big thing. Yeah, I fake, you was just like it's your shit, you the one for me. She be coming up a guap when I'm on the scene. And I be getting to
Okay, first tier list is going to be Down Bad, aka D tier, obviously. Now, there's no character in Down Bad, there's no character pretty much F tier, bottom of the low, even with someone like Doomfist, and I don't want to go ahead and be biased and rant and defend Doomfist, even though, yes, I understand the consideration that he arguably is the most unuseful character in this game. I still feel like he has some use and variety, just depending on the case of the player. With this ranking, to go more elaborate as these is going to be explanation. Again, this is from a highball to general state rank material. All these characters can be higher and be mixed up around their high end play, but this is from the general high case play and grand for what they can do. There's going to be a long video going to explain this though, and I hope you guys take consideration everything I say with this being said. Again, obviously, if you disagree, that's fine. Don't really care. As obviously, I don't save face when it comes down to my points. Again, I love each and every one of y'all and what y'all bring to the table, evolving your points and how it is. Even if some of y'all don't agree with it, it might be me, word the case, call me stupid, word the case. I just want to go ahead and talk about my point, obviously, with all that being said. And this is not to detract from the point at hand or say word the case, because you're really going to be mad about it, I care less. But to go on with my point and not detract, besides Down Bad, we have considerable C tier and characters that have good capabilities but don't necessarily high scale in comparison to all the characters, and Beast tier, aka B tier. Beast tier is kind of self-explanatory. Boss characters are characters that have multi-brand capabilities that can hold it very well, and this is the general catalyst for all the characters. Ads comp are characters that will always be useful considerably in the composition, will always hold up weight, and will arguably be the top tier characters in a 5 comp stack, especially if we're talking role queue or open queue. These are characters that will always have some support in a 5 comp and will always be good in a stack. Fire, aka Go, aka S tier, is going to be a character that overlays everybody, no matter the instance, and considerably needs to be nerfed immediately. And a lot of y'all probably have an idea who that character is. Anyway, time to go ahead and actually going to get into it. The first character we're talking about is Doomfist. Doomfist is at the bottom of C tier and arguably be D tier. But the reason why I don't do that is because I don't think he's that bad and he can stack with these characters evenly. All these characters have a great deal of capabilities and what they can do. But the reason why Doomfist does not go the best, and I've made a whole video talking about this, discussing. If you want to hear my full take unscripted there, go ahead. And this is not scripted. This is a reasonable statement for talk, but I do have a scripted tagged out lift within everything that I was trying to go and say. Kind of said the word tagged out lift with everything I'm trying to go and say, because with this being said, I'm saying within account for everything I'm talking about. Obviously, I have my tier list here on my computer with what I'm talking about, but I don't have a script. And the layer of things I'm saying is just that the character himself, Doomfist, with what I've all compiled together in my mind and seen the results for what he can do by general baseness, he's just not the most useful character. His fist barely does much out no stuff. Obviously, as a tank, he's not supposed to do heavy damage, but back in Overwatch 2 beta, he held up a lot. He had assist. He could assert himself into a court of the fight and hold up something. You had different tactitional cases of different things. Like I said, in short, what the tech of his character and what the tech of what I'm saying here has been discussed already. It's just that he probably does not hold up as much as he considerably could. He was reformed in a way that took a lot of things that made him good bad, but kind of correlated some difference. But he just doesn't overarchingly hold up good weight. His manner of playing in different courts is just not good. It's not reasonably a good setup. It's not a good combination with stuff. His seismic slam doesn't hold up that much. His shield barely does anything because you can still get overrun. You don't get no callback. It's just a super powered fist, and it helps. But a lot of his techs, everything that made him hold up weight, was dissolved, and they scraped a lot of the things that made him have great A stuff. I understand one-shotting half of the characters in the game is not good, but when you make his fist nothing but dull fist, clunk fist, and not hold up nothing, it detracts the Black All Might in him. Unless you're razor sharp with all these other capabilities of techs that he has, and even giving him back 2 scale save for hacks, it barely opens up the same things. These techs are worse for him. You don't have the same practitioner capabilities, and you don't do that much. And from a general Doomfist, I think he could be up C tier, but unless you're like get quacked on and Zebra, where you could be like mid B tier, like just hold up a good enough means, then you're just not gonna be good because he just doesn't do that much. I think Doomfist has so much potential and he has so much great stuff, and I feel like they neutered the main villain of this game and they downgraded him. So Doomfist just does not hold up nothing as a character, because the tank, you're always gonna need your squad no matter say an instance, but most of these other tanks just cannot rock with this man and the composition. And even combinated, he doesn't do that much. He always needs help. He can't do anything by himself. He gets out damaged by people that should not, realistically and gameplay wise, out damage this man. He should not hold any weight as just a back pedal at all. He should be an insert and out. You can try to combine tanking and DPSing because he plays both. And again, he originally was a DPS, but he just struggles to have a good confine because he just seems in the middle and he should not be able to do anything in this case for the developers. Because again, he should not hold up any weight as a backline field. He should hold up the weight in offensive instances. He can hold in the back and do what he can, but it seems like Doomfist always has to backpedal, never go into pressure, never push in during this same amount of stuff. And even when he does, he doesn't arise anything different. Okay, I get supercharged fist. Depending on the case, what I do with it, it doesn't matter. Now again, supercharged fist, it helps. It's a cool ability. It's cool to stack kinetic energy and burst somebody open with it, and it's cool to knock people off his kabunguous shockwave shit. And people say that's overpowered in some cases, but I feel like it's one of the only good things with him. This is why he has capabilities, but most people can't strive with those capabilities because that hard case play, people can get around it. People are faster, they have better defense. He can't do shit. And as a mainline tank, he can't do so. Now we're talking open queue where he has better observability. Maybe there could be something, but he just doesn't do anything. And then his ult is the biggest downgrade for him. Is simply this motherfucker does not have the capabilities to go in and push in different regard, because all he will do is either get out, get a higher case positioning, or do very little damage, and if he even does kill somebody, it won't hold up that much. Meteor Strike just seems like a ×2 fist for him, because that's the realistic damage he should be bringing on. It will do damage, it just won't do enough. It doesn't hold stability. It doesn't hold the Kirk of what it means to actually be a bomb in this motherfucker. He doesn't nuke people in the same form, and it's more like he just comes down with an upper shockwave in the sense. He doesn't crack people. He doesn't pull the United States smash that he did. He doesn't have Detroit smash. He doesn't have anything that is in a full record of being a beast. DPS Fist was just better than Tank Fist because of everything that he had and the rack of power he brought. I don't want to go on too much of more of a rant and again the Kirk of what made him better on something same ever saying, but I'm just saying what curled him into a beast was downgraded and he was neutered of all the necessity and the rising form of power that he could bridge off for the team. He couldn't eliminate people, he couldn't strike people, and Beta Doomfist Overwatch 2's Beta Doomfist was solid. He wasn't broken. He was structured nice. He had good gauge. He had good capability. He had good counteraction. He had reasoning. His fist did damage. He had his techs. He had more odds ability. He could expand, do more, hold more weight. Everything was perfect. And then it was just downgraded. There's nothing there. So I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and stop talking about Doomfist. We're going to move on. But that's my personal opinion on why he was kind of downstarted of a lot of capabilities that he could bring to the team and what he could do. Overarchingly, though, I think he's there. And if he needs to, he go against some of the others. And I'll overarchingly talk about considerable overall. Moving on, we have Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball is over Doomfist because he holds a lot more capabilities and weight in the stack and do different things. And can more or less do the same thing, but slightly better in the state involving distracting people, as always, being the trickster, being a little lollipop, this cute little hamster, being a rodent to the team, ridiculously being annoying, and most importantly, ramming through people, booming through people, stacking his combos together good with other characters, like obviously beaming on the ground, doing other stuff. Unlike Doomfist, he doesn't have good instigation, and he has better capabilities than his ult, supplies a lot more. It can crowd control, disengage people, and most importantly kill people in a multi-stack. With his bomb capabilities to blow people into the air and the bombs are relayed, he has a better counteraction with his ult. Doomfist is not. McCree was nerfed within the form of his flashbang in this case, and with the flashbang being gone and now formed into a sticky grenade, he has the capability to stack together a kill a lot more better, and most importantly, with his capabilities to get outside and just be more class K sharpshooter and not a full salty mercenary type of state build. He has capabilities to do a little bit more, but I say he's strong in his own right. He just can't do the most. His ult's good shot, pop people, be solid. Simple same matter for him. I feel like this is even C tier reasonable. Then we have Anna. Strikes good, solid healer, can do things, adds good capabilities to the team, solid evolving combinations, because obviously the nano boost is one of not the greatest all in combination type of thing. She can boost anybody and spike them to a high gauge, and with her capabilities alone, she has good capabilities for offense, good capabilities for defense. She can go good, she's solid, she rotates with the tank good or tanks, and she just has a lot of things that have her having great save versatility and overall roundabout with her capabilities as a character all around. But besides that, we have Brigitte. Brigitte is an underrated character. Defense, offense, great shielding for people, especially a combination of her ult and capabilities, beaming into battle, ready to rise up her people within this tank. Fill with it. She's able to obviously regress all the bad coming to them into something better in this case, because obviously with her shield and all of our case of combinations with other people, she brings up her tanks, she gives out great healing and shield line with people, and she can strike hard against other people, and she has a great capability as an offensive stamina for a healer. And when it comes on other people, she has different stages, different counterations depending on the case for how she plays. She stacks up good, but I wouldn't say she overall plays other people, but she has her uses. So I don't think you should just think she's a downgrade as a healer. Even when she's not the most high-end support healer, she still has a record of doing good, okay? Besides that, though, we have Hanzo. Hanzo has great capabilities. Wait, capabilities. It sounds like so super weird. I'm just responding super fast, but recap. Great capabilities. He pops off arrows pretty good. Whiffs, cool a lot of the capabilities of Green Arrow, and strikes good as a character. Then we have Tracer. Tracer, she's fast, same type of same matter for Phil. She just can add a little bit more mobile Speedster, obviously, could race around you, has sticky bombs, puck around. She has the same gauge, but it seems like she has a lot more attack boost than normal. So I say that reasonably puts her at a high gauge evolving capabilities. So overarchingly, I feel like at high ball, it stays the same, except if you would consider we want to put Doomfist over McCree for the sake of his high play, maybe contingent with being over Anna, or the case, but that's where I would probably put them all in form of power in comparison to each other in the same composition. And again, this is from a general state play to high roll involving the rank in this sense. So that's why I put them there. Going over to Beast though, with Beast, we have Mercy at the bottom. Mercy can do a lot, has viability, cool to other characters, and do something. Even not having the best of a skill or capabilities to do more, engage in between different things with people and being Battle Mercy and Chain Connect. It's very cool, and she has ways to help people, especially resurrect, which can be very viable if she resurrects somebody with a great ult and great combinates with them. So she has her own capability and uses, but she's a very temporary Keith's character. It just depends on what you do with her and how she goes. Overall, she's a solid pick. She's a general pick for a mainline healer, and she's good at her job. She's easy, simple, doesn't matter, and is viable. Zenyatta, same thing, solid, has great capabilities, destroying people with their health and capabilities with Discord is cool. He can push people back with his melee, has great capabilities. He has one of the best melees in the game. And with that being said, he's just very cool with how he goes about things. And his ult is peak. It is arguably one of, if not the best healer ult for how viable it is. It's a solid. It does things great. He's immortal. He can transcend. He can pretty much fly depending on your plays, and his high level plays with it can come in clutch. So there's you go for Zenyatta. Soldier 76, solid, simple, very reliable, great ace shooter. His ult is solid. Can pick. Okay, my mic disconnected. I'm hoping that you guys go ahead and hear me. Yo, hopefully you guys can hear me. Mic cut out in between that. Okay. Mic is registered in between. Okay. Had to go and cut in between that because of the fact that my mic disconnected because my controller battery was low. Okay, to go and recall, in case you guys didn't hear me at Fly Source 36, it's all with how he gave stuff and how he goes about things, probably different compositions. And when it comes down to combinations, he's very cool and he can strike hard on same out for a team with a nice practitioner together. Then we have Junkrat. Man can rubby people multiple times with his explosives. He does easy shit. Does a great deal case man for damage and is simple and is always cool pair with different people. Solid. Bastion. Bastion has multiple capabilities, has a limited potential to do good depending on the composition, especially with a pirate built comp. And when it comes down to his ult back in the time, it was overpowered to be able to have unlimited rockets, slash, nukes, and airstrikes. So he would have great capabilities with that. If he was still like that, but since he got nervous, it's still great, especially you can just doom people around, especially in a big composition. And if you have a Zarya bubble coming together on him while he's doing it, and you grab people and he starts pulling that out, you pretty much can Hiroshima motherfuckers. Then Torbjorn is cool in his own right because of the fact of obviously coming in with other people. He has turret, great capabilities of damage, spools your lava, multiple record capabilities, but without the turret, without great capabilities and by himself, he doesn't really stack as much, and coming back to recoil back to the turret can kind of disengage him from the fight and reasonably put in work. So that's where I would put him. Then you have Junker Queen. Junkering, well, kind of, if you put it like that. I was gonna say Junker Queen, if a fool said that, it kind of sound like I said something else with it, but still Junker Queen and Junker Ring people back to back with combinations of bleed with your obviously knife, axe, and other capabilities. It's coolness. She has great dual combos and going to some metal on people is fun. She's a very dynamic character. She's a welcome addition, my Junker Bay, but still slowing people left and right with these capabilities, doesn't really take you as a bigger tank. It more correlates you with a DPS mixed tank field, which is cool, and she has a lot more capabilities to do this. And so her rocking out with a comp that's very heavy damage built and has a lot more aggressive state role is cool, but her character kind of needs to be too aggressive to find grass, and she doesn't really have that much from overall viable tank category. So I would say next to Doomfist, but better, she will arguably be the lowest tank next because her state of build is a lot more DPS and doesn't stack as well, but she has the great capabilities, and it really just depends how you go about it. Her ult helps, but it kind of can be underwhelming. Like you override them, the capability not to heal. Depending on the same matter for how you combine it, it don't add up that much. I've not played her super, but at the same time, I rock with how she has her fundamental disengagement, dispatching in between it, and she's just hella fun. And you can just be the most brutacious bow woman on the field, no matter saying since if you really wanted to. It just really depends on how you course about it in the same sense. But overall, I think she's pretty solid where she's at though. Then we have Symmetra. Great A defense with offense paired together with a great capability of practitioner with her teleporter and her same matter stuff like that, and her wall helps out a dome field that can regress people's damage and her stuff. It helps. It just really depends. She's just good with a lot of capability, especially solid on the assault maps. So she's overall better. Reaper's cool. I feel like Reaper was kind of downgraded on his damage, but he still holds a lot. He still has a great counter, and he still overrides other people. But I would say now Winston as a character kind of holds a little bit more. He can still counter him, but now because more health and more capabilities integrated with him, in this case, him able to pull out electricity and beam for the sky a little bit more high velocity and stack up more helps him more as a tank to build a counter rat, especially with a good team composition and help. And overarchingly, Winston is a great A dive meta tank. Then next, we have Mei. Mei's cool, great capabilities, super freeze damage, and great A composition picks to be choose from, evolving her capabilities to get in and out in different spaces. She's overarchingly annoying and could be that, and overarchingly she is a Sub-Zero of this game. Next, you have Lucio. He's fast, reliable, has great capabilities. He's a very cool character. He's fun as hell, and he still has cool capabilities. And you can still that be dynamic with it. You know what I'm saying? You can still be the Brazilian out here that is out here murking motherfuckers and having great capabilities to do more overarchingly. So with that being said, he has capabilities to do good. He's a very cool character overall. With that being said, I would say for him and Reinhardt is very contingent as they both have their own uses that can kind of overlay together. But I say Reinhardt's a little bit more because it pays him out for being a tank. And two fire strikes being able to slow back on his charge and not just being a ramming Rhino. And just having a very cool fly feel as a character. And he actually feels like a grounded tank in the state of capabilities. So that's how I feel about him all around his capabilities. With this being said, click off from the actual mouse on my computer for a second. Okay. Make sure myself was good. Correlating to now, Moria. Moria is cool, the technological witch. She has great capabilities, can intersync damage on other people. And it's still the same, annoying, but doesn't really reach higher stage. She's just a grounded healer and has some annoying plays that can work against the enemy team. Sigma is one up against Reinhardt for more versatility, more of the same state of matter capability, and his vacuum tied together with more patch of different ults in between there holds a lot more versatility, and he just has better various capabilities more than Reinhardt because Reinhardt kind of be stun locked in just an offense defense scenario, while Sigma legit has it all. So that's why I will put him a little bit more, and I feel like his playstyle is a lot more, how should I say this, active than Reinhardt. Like Reinhardt has active, but sometimes you could just be tunneling and turtling out. And I feel like Sigma has a lot more better grand capabilities than Reinhardt. Then you have Baptiste. Baptiste is a good healer. He's cool. He's valuable. He does different better things than other characters. And all around, his character is very good when it comes down to healing and holding up people. And all around, his immortality still holds great use, especially mixed with other characters within his attack boost. Can bland people and one-shot people, especially if he's combinated with arguably the Bay for him, Sojourn. It will be a dose of your life. Fought up is good. I feel like Farah is only better because the combination states that she has by herself kind of doesn't hold as much greater count weight, but I think she's very good and has some great AK abilities. But seeing in full right now, I still think she's in B tier. I just maybe rethink her being more than Baptiste in viability, because Baptiste really took her out. And it's not just on character versus character, this is what they just stack overall, because they're all good. Just maybe one might hold up more than the other in use. I just feel like Farah will hold up better in use and countability with her having her rocket boost, being female Iron Man, depending on stakes of the matter and how she goes about it. And a good Farah can overarchingly counter different counters depending on how she plays. But these other characters have better capabilities counter, especially one that has more use and is a centerpiece character when it comes down to countering Farah and use. We have Widowmaker. Widowmaker is arguably so explanatory. Can still deadshot somebody across the map and stuff. Can still rock people. Can still do a lot more when it comes down to capabilities and far side capabilities with use and all that. And this has better capabilities all around and could do a lot more when it comes down to far scale things. She again can one shot people from across the map. Can bot people, can do a lot of different cool things. With all that being said, and I just feel like the character has a lot more better grasp of involving movement and frugal capabilities to move around, and with involving her being added with better damage for her assault rifle pick, she has capabilities to ransack somebody if it would be needed to come to that in this case when it comes down to her getting around, having good capabilities, good defense, and not just her being one shot picked every time she goes about things. And her capabilities are very inanimate and far scale all around. What is being said. So when it comes down to Widowmaker in comparison to bigger use, she's good because she can get kills. But does she have better strand on rocking against people in full? No, it really depends because again, being a character that can just sit across the map and take people out can be feeling overpowered, and in some cases it really is. I mean, Chipset would tell you the most. It's just the way in far a scale that the character stands that it can kind of discern some of the formal uses that the character can kind of try to strave off of in this case to get around as well. With everything being said, but I overarchingly feel, the character has very cool form of use, and I really like how the character was put together in this game to be added. The whole one-shot thing can kind of be true and kind of not. It's more of an expression case thing, but at the same time, like I said, it really just depends on their form of use. Genji is cool. Genji still holds use in the meta. Genji has a lot of great capabilities, especially with the damage, pull that he brings, the versatility that he brings, the coolness that he brings, everything that makes him a character. He has so many bundles of cool things that make him cool. My man can really ride a ninja gate on a motherfucker if he needs to, evolving his capabilities, which is the main thing I like because he actually has sourceful different uses on different occasions. You know what I'm saying? He has actual different ways to force with the fight and be something, especially clicking into your ult and doing a great deal of things in a dive meta state instance. The next we have Ashe. I think Ashe is without doubt next to Widowmaker arguably the best sniper in this game. I feel like she has great use. Bob has multiple capabilities to tank in and bop motherfucker if he needs to. No pun arguably intended, even though I said bop. I like how it goes with different combinations that come with it. And overarchingly, Bob is just a cool overarching character that has great AK abilities together with himself and others that make him a very useful and versatile character overarchingly in my pick. And at the same time, Ashe just has cool combinations of versatility. Echo. Echo arguably could be staged for A tier because of the versatility she has to build a clone and duplicate other capabilities of their characters. But she's cool, she's versatile, she does way more damage to Farah, she has way more better capabilities, she's stacked with better capabilities involving maneuvering, mobility, air control, and rocking motherfuckers. And most importantly, since she gets her ult super fast and just stack back to back on different people's capabilities depending on how you play, she's just very good, and she's definitely a high rise character. She could be damn near added to the comp for how dope of a character she is. Echo has always been a superior character, evolving weight, and rank, whatever case of composition. So I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory for why she would be here. Orisa is up next. I feel like Orisa is very great with her capabilities. It depends on how you course with things, but Orisa is very good depending on you got the handle of her. She's a very kind of hard character to get a better case to fill with because again, her capabilities to be able to spear you with a javelin is cool. It's cool for her to be able to go Wakanda forever on you and you can't do nothing about it. But she overall is better than most because one, damage, superior output, the type of scale that she has, and her versatility being a tank and a DPS to the T because of what she has and full boosting, and just overarchingly has a better weight and high because of how she corresponds with her combinations. Finally, for A, second highest will be added to the comp, aka A tier. I already explained this. We're going to go for a speed run. We have Soldier, great capabilities, great A shooter, has arguably the best sniper capabilities and potential with having a high boost. The spear for people have the best capabilities and high roll than anybody else, and just overarchingly has a cool feel that makes her feel cool and makes her be an overarching good character in every bit of the way. She has cool capabilities to get around mobility and beat assassinator like character and a great A shooter, and she's very cool, and I like how she's able to mix up on the same capabilities. Next, we have Roadhog. Roadhog has 700 health and is the most beefy and arguably next Zarya, the most tankiest case of a tank ever to be seen because this motherfucker does the most. He's ridiculous. He can penetrate for your capabilities, and he just has way more better capabilities to get out of line than anybody else, especially with his chug of oil such gasoline. And this man just does the most. My man ridiculously strong. He's able to hook people in. He has great A capabilities in comparison with everybody else, especially with him being able to knock people off. His maps ability to knock people off are the most superior because he's the king at those, like Elios in other case places, and he just does way more better. He's put together like a DPS and a tank like he was in the last game with a beefy state, but in a state of power to where if you do play him, he has so many capabilities to where if you would play him, you don't actually have any vulnerability and your capabilities just stagnate back to back off rip without any form of regret because he's just that nigga. You just cannot stop somebody of that high wage because again, his capabilities to be so stagnant and powerhousey stack more and more overall because of how much power he has to be able to get out of the way, have his better vulnerability, have his better capabilities of mass control, and then overall, he's just a very ridiculously powerful tank. He's stupid, ridiculously, and fun. Next, we have D.Va. She can spam multi-case of capabilities. She has infinite ammo, pretty much. She's ridiculously cool. Her ult is one of the most superior ults in the game in combination. It can full one-shot stack a whole team in this case. And overarchingly, she just has cool damage and high margin of different feats that case her as more powerful than the rest. Zarya is ridiculously powerful, can stack multiple times more with health, can be super boosted, counter almost anybody in combination, and is ridiculously ridiculous multiple times over. Finally, we have Fire, aka Goat. Sombra, self-explanatory, overlays anybody with high-end damage with hacking you, downgrades your capabilities to fight, puts you in a box, pulls a bodyguard, and dispatches you right then and there. I think she needs a nerf arguably the most because obviously she's at the top because just what she can do and all her capabilities can degrade anybody, and with an instant ult with a good combination she can ran anybody's fade at any case of time because of just that in general. And I feel like she stacks the most. You can make an argument that Zarya could be higher. I just feel like in versatility and what she stacks, she would just body anybody with a good composition. If you're like saying like by herself in this answer, you could easily pull like to a beast. But like in composition, overarching role, full meta, she just regards as the most toughest and ridiculously annoying character in this game by far. That's my tier list, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out, my army. Love ya.